Hey guys, it's James here from eBassGuitar.com, and if you've ever wondered how to find out what key a song is in, I'm going to take you through my 3-step formula today on how to identify the key of a song. So if you want to learn how to do this, please check this lesson out all the way to the end. Hey guys, it's James here from eBassGuitar, and today I want to answer a question from Mike, one of our long-time eBassGuitar subscribers, about how do you find out the key of a song. So today I want to take you through my 3-step formula on how to identify the key of a song. So let's get straight into it. So before we go into the 3 steps, it's probably worth talking about what does this word key actually mean. You might also hear the term key center too. So what a key center is the note on the bass or the guitar or any instrument where all the other notes relate back to. I like to think of it as that home note, or home chord rather. And when we hit that home chord, everything feels good. It feels homely, it feels resolved, because everything is relating back to that. And once you know what the key chord of a song is, it's so much easier to work out what all the other chords are in a song. So when you're trying to work out a song, identifying the key chord really is your #1 priority. So where do you normally find the key chord? I'm going to give you a couple of rules of thumb to work to. First of all, music is both an art and a science, so you're always going to find exceptions to this. But in general, pop and rock music, the chances are that the last chord of a piece is definitely going to be your key chord, but also there's a very, very good chance that the first chord is going to be your key chord too. I reckon this will probably work in probably about 95% of instances in standard pop, rock, soul music, etc, etc. It's very, very common. So when you're looking for that, that is the best place to start. And once you practice doing this a few times, you'll get more and more tuned in to finding what the key chord is. So we are going to use the track Black Magic Woman. This was actually the track which Mike asked about. I released the lesson a few weeks back, so do check it out on the eBassGuitar blog. It will give a bit of context for what we're going to do today. And he said, but how do you actually find out what the key chord is there? So this is how it came about, and it seemed apt that we should use Black Magic Woman again to actually demonstrate these concepts. So the first thing, or the first step of this 3-step formula, is to create a loop of the key chord. So what I'm going to do is take the first chord of the song and I'm going to loop that round and round. I've got a bit of software here called Amazing Slow Downer, which can create loops. It's a really, really useful thing to do if you're transcribing songs. If there's a specific bit you want to do, drill it down into a second or two that you can really focused in on. In the old days, we had to press backwards and forwards on cassette machines or even on vinyl, put the needle back and forth, but with software, it's so much easier today. There are loads and loads of pieces of software which will do this. I'm using Amazing Slow Downer, but there's software called Transcribe, GarageBand will do it, Logic Pro, the hundreds. Don't get too bogged down it, because there's going to be a ton of stuff which can do it for Android or iPad or Mac or PC, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a very simple function. So just find something that will do the trick and you'll be absolutely fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start Black Magic Woman, and I'm going to spend a few seconds sorting out a loop. It doesn't have to be sort of rhythmically precise, but it wants to have all the information in there of the chord. So let's start off and do that. I'm going to press play and create a loop. We're going to start with a count in like this. Let's start the loop there. Like that. Okay. Actually, that isn't too badly cut. There's a slight glitch in it, but that really, really doesn't matter. Try and get it as precise as possible. But what you'll hear is there's a keyboard in there going bum, 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 bum. And that's a great thing to lock into. Let me just play it again so you can hear it. So that is our loop that we want to work to, which gives us the key chord. You'll also find this at the end of the sequence. So if you go back to that initial Black Magic Woman, you'll see this written out. You'll see that that particular first chord happens a few times throughout the tune, namely at the beginning and at the end of the 12-bar cycle. So we have our step one is we have our loop. Step two is we need to identify what the key note of that is. So what is our root note? As bass players, we are really highly concerned with what the root note of a chord is. It is our primary function to be playing that. So a really easy way to do that is to start on an open string like this, and then literally go up semitone or half step by half step and work out which one fits. What you're going to discover is a lot of them will sound awful. Some of them will sound marginally better, and I'll explain that in just a second why that is. And some of them, or one in particular, our root note will sound absolutely brilliant. It will just fit. You may need to practice this a few times and just go up and down and really start to tune your ear in. It may take a little while, but it will come, I promise you that one. So let's go through it. I'm going to do this live with you now so you can see how I'm doing it. I'm going to start the loop off, start off in the open string and work out half step by half step up the neck. So we're going to start there. Okay. Nah. That doesn't sound good. Ah, now we have it. That sounds good. Play it a few times. Just check if it really does sound. Yeah, I think I found it there. But I'm going to carry on up. 2. No, definitely not. Definitely not again. That's not so bad, but no. 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 And then we're back up to the A. Not really. But your ear will lead you back to the one that works. And it's that D there. Play it a few times. So definitely the D is the one that will work, but what you will find is there's some other notes which actually kind of sound okay, and the reason why those sound okay is because they're notes which actually feature in the chord. Okay, straight up that particular chord, that arpeggio that I'm playing, is actually those notes which sound kind of okay because they are very strongly related to the root note, and we're going to talk about that in step 3. So let's just recount the first 2 steps. So step 1 is create a loop of the key chord once you're comfortable what that is, and that's likely to be at the beginning or the end. Step 2 is to actually find out what the key note is, or the root note. So in this case we found it's a D. Now we need to work out whether we are in a major key or a minor key. Most music, standard pop and rock music, is either in a major key or a minor key. So how we work this one out, there's a very simple little formula you can use again to do this. So let's put our D down. And what we are changing between a major key and a minor key is the third note of the chord. So if we're in a major key, all we need to do is go up 4 half steps. So that's number 1, number 3, and number 4. So, and we land on an F sharp like so. If we're in a minor key, we just take that F sharp back a half step, or we go up 3 steps. So that's number 1, number 2, number 3. So what you can do is you could play the notes like that, or you could actually create a chord on the bass. I'm a big fan of playing chords on the bass, not actually particularly when I'm on gigs, I don't do that so much, but when I'm practicing and I'm trying to understand harmony and chords, etc., being able to play some being able to play a few chords is really, really, really helpful. If you can play any other instruments like the piano or the guitar, harmony-based instruments, that is really great for your wider musicality too. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a D down at the 12th fret on the D string like that. Then I'm going to put the F sharp down on the G string, okay, and create a major, it's not really a chord, a two-note chord, shall we call it like that, or an interval is technically the correct term for it. So major third like that, or minor, so D to F like that. And I'm going to see now, I'm going to start our loop off again and see which one fits. Okay, start off with the major. No, it doesn't really work. Ah, there we go. The minor. Only two choices, major. Okay. So I'm now really confident that this song is in the key of D minor. It's worth saying that the basic difference between a major key and a minor key is something pretty fundamental. Like when I was talking about that feeling of the home chord, the emotion which is kind of associated with this is happy or sad, like that. So they're two very fundamental motions that we can attach to the major and the minor sounds. So that is the three-step process to, or formula for identifying the key of a song. Don't forget there's a checklist which comes with this lesson, which is going to take you through the steps that we've covered in here, with a few of the examples written out, some notation too, so you can see what I'm doing on the bass there. So let's just recap. Step one is to create a loop on the bass. Step two is to identify the root note by going up in half steps and finding that one which really fits. Step three is to work out whether we're in a major or minor key. And in this case of Black Magic Woman, we are in the key of D minor. And to go back and answer Mike's question of how did I know it was in the key of D minor, because I went through a process very similar to this. And once you get more experience this process will speed up and you won't be going through all the semitones each time. You'll be able to start going, I think it's there, or trying certain things out, and you'll basically become much more familiar with how to do it, and it will speed up and become so much more comfortable. So that was the three-step process that I go through. So that was my three-step formula on how to identify the key of a song. So if you've enjoyed this lesson, please do give it a like and share on social. Please do let me know what the #1 thing you learned from this lesson is by commenting below in the comments. I've been James from eBassGuitar.com, and I will catch you next time. Cheers for now.